when we look at the whole infrastructure and the world we're working in and you're working in, I think we both know, and a lot of the audience, I think, shares that product data down to the material and substance level is an incredible value to companies, to organizations. But still, we see there's a lot of silos and separate data sources that are around in organizations. So what's your experience? Where are you? Where would you say this is where we are, this is where what we're dealing with, and this is where software actually helps, looking at, of course, your experience also with our solution, to bring together these silos and make life and make work easier?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing that we are looking at when dealing with all these kind of silos is IT structure. Yeah, so IT is what we live from. IT is what is managing our data, and we have a lot of organically grown IT. I would say that because of mergers, acquisitions, and so on. There are standalone solutions, there are big solutions for purchasing, for engineering, for whatever you might think of. And this means in the end, you have tons of data available in each and every system, but the systems sometimes do not talk properly to each other. So you are searching for data all the time. Yeah, and in order to facilitate that, we are using a kind of small checklist for data collection that helps everybody to focus on the right system, to make sure that we get out of each system, we get the right data. It's sometimes Excel is really helpful in these cases, especially in large companies, because this is a tool that everybody has on its laptop. It is available, the formatting is fine, and in many cases you can use downloads into Excel from whatever system you are talking about. And that is what is really important for us. You can combine all this data in this wonderful, nice IMDS checklist, and then you get something that you can work with. So that is quite important. So internally, this helps to overcome this silo IT stuff that we cannot change, and that will never ever go away, I guess, because of the huge amount of different data that is available in these systems. On the other hand, there are also data silos related to regulatory data. So you have tons of compliance data that you need to put together. There is REACH, there is POP, there is SVHCs, you have Taxonomy, EUDR, CBAM, and so on. And all of that is somehow mirrored somewhere in the IMDS system. And everybody wants you to give you the correct data. So that means in many cases you need to define rules. Which substances, what applications, are there thresholds, is there any time constraint, whatever. And whenever this is already part of IMDS, this is easy. You just click the right substance group, everything is fine, rule is defined, you can work, and that is like routine work. Very simple, very easy, and everybody knows what is to do when it comes to these kind of well-established things. So on the other hand, when you have a force majeure or this wonderful China export bans that we had last year, and that keeps us still busy into this year, all the data is there. You have it ready, but you need to define the rules and the substances and everything. And this is something where you need expertise, and it needs to be quick. So you get the request and it explodes around you. You need to do that as soon as possible, mostly yesterday, because time is pressing. The customer is asking you for the data, the deadline is tight, and we also need to talk to our suppliers. So that is what is behind, that we can use the flexibility of the CSI manager that you are providing. Also the simpler basic substance searches and so on. So that is for the easy stuff, but the CSI manager really helps then to sort through the more complex things. You define rules, you can set thresholds, you can set the time frames, and this really makes it easier for all of us to extract the correct data in due time. Even though sometimes the more complex it gets, the longer the runtime is. Yeah, so sometimes analysis runs for a couple of days, unfortunately. But in the end, you get something that is really wonderful. And yeah, in the end, we are also mirroring a couple of OEM requirements. Yeah, we all know that each OEM has its own requirements, its own substance list. You need to make sure that everything is fine. And we also mirror a couple of specialties here. For example, we have integrated child seats, and they, to a certain degree, in this case, we are mirroring the toys directive just to make sure it is a child seat, yeah, and therefore we need to make sure that the toys directive is met. So also this is a routine check for us, but without the IPCA, we would not be able to do that easily, because in the IMDS system, in the live IMDS system, you don't have the possibility to do so. Yeah, that's great.